On 1 second left, you popped in. It was very impressive. I'll give you that. Timed it up beautifully. Dennis, early with the fist bumps, 3
Right off
minutes
the
before we
top.
go
Right off
live.
the top.
Absolute legend.
Ready.
Jimmy J saying Hauser needs 30 minutes and a green light tonight. Let me just start. I'm going to type in the Celtics injury report tonight. Brown, Smart, Horford,
It is
Brogdon.
hefty.
I'll include Gallinari just because. All out. Did I get it all? Is this the entire injury report? Brown, Smart, Horford, Brogdon, Gallinari all out tonight. That is 4 rotational pieces for the Boston Celtics, 3 of which are regular starters, not going to be playing tonight against the Heat. Jimmy Butler also out as a late-minute scratch, got hurt during warm-up, so Butler will not be playing for the Heat tonight.
I thought he
Very
had back
interesting, but
tightness. Did that happen during warm-ups?
I'm not sure. I just saw on Twitter someone say it happened during warm-ups, and it was some sort of left hamstring tightness or some sort of tightness. Hello, Dad. Fist bumps. Even in Louise, fist bumps to you as well. Time Lord playing right. Correct. Time Lord is playing Dennis. Jimmy J saying, what's up? Hoping Butler sat. He is out tonight. I'll drop what I can predict the Celtics starting lineup. I mean, we know it's going to be White, Tatum, Grant, Rob, right? I'm assuming. Like those 4 have to be in it. The question is whether it's going to be Pritchard or Hauser. I'm guessing Hauser will probably start. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm guessing Pritchard will probably start. But curious to know what you guys think. Who do you guys think will get the start tonight with 3 starters down?
Good.
I think you should actually try and give Hauser some run.
Like
I kind of want to see it. Like, if it doesn't work, you pull him, right? You pull him and you go to your bench unit for whoever you got left. I mean, you're going to probably end up having to go with some of your two-way guys too. We saw Kevin Gele in this last game, which was kind of crazy. I don't know how much of that was they just need some bodies.
I think Davison will have to play like actual minutes.
Yeah, no, he's going to have to. So I'm like wondering, do you try and save him for second unit? Does that maybe it does push Pritchard into that starting 5? It would be interesting. I don't know how serious Jimmy J is about that, or if he's trying to get a rise out of Luis.
No, I think Jimmy J's a Cornet fan. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy J, but I think you're on the Cornet train. I know Luis isn't, but my only thing is
he's predicting a Luke 2020 game again.
Yeah, right. My thing is with the 2020 with the starting thing. I understand the wanting to excuse me, hello Ben. Start Hauser, but if Miami is going to Jimmy J saying I might have sat Tatum too at that point. Yeah, I mean at this point, but sorry, back on track. If Miami is going to start Lowry and Tyler Hero, which I assume they are, starting Hauser would leave I think a pretty awkward matchup thing in the starting lineup because, if you throw Pritchard out there, you can have Pritchard on Lowry, you can have D White on Hero, and then you kind of rotate everybody up. But if you have Hauser in there, you're going to have either Hauser, Tatum, or Grant on Hero, and those guys can. But I'd rather have a guard on Tyler Hero just so you can play up a little bit. I don't know. At this point, though, with all these people out, maybe it's just I'm thinking too deep into it. Just play who you got, and I am excited for. I get weirdly excited for these types of games, though, right? Because obviously you want to see the starters playing. I know you're going to say that, but it's it's fun to see a different mix of group. I'm excited to see if Davison's got something there. It'll be cool to see him there, and I'm more okay with it because Butler is sitting, so it'll be more even keeled at the very least, and sharing Sam's sentiments. So I
agree.
I'll let you take the floor there, Sam, with this message.
Well, here's the thing, right? I think the Jaylen Brown absence was planned because he had that hip problem, and that's what they cited, and it said management. At least I saw a few things that said it was management. Now, they lost yesterday anyway, so it doesn't really change anything. And this isn't a hindsight thing because they lost. Orlando is the worst of these two teams. If you're going to rest guys, why would you not do it against them? That I don't understand. They caught a break with Jimmy Butler being out, but this Heat team has won 14 of its last 21. They aren't the team that they were last year, but they're still a pain in your ass. They already beat you this year at home. Don't screw around with them.
No, I think that's coaching too, right? Spoelstra has managed to get a lot out of guys, especially even with players missing out of that lineup. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Butler was kind of feeling some kind of soreness before the game, and then they were like, how many Celtics players are sitting out? It's like, you guys can do this, right? Like, you guys can survive the night without me. Like, you don't need to do this. And it, I don't know, like that could have been something that happened. I found it very interesting that it happened so late. And if it did truly happen during warmups, okay, but I'm sure they probably weren't really feeling any kind of pressure to put him out there. What's going on, Dave? With so many Celtics players out, especially with JB getting scratched, I get kind of annoyed with the fact I sort of agree with what you're saying, Sam. Like, if you're gonna rest him, like if this was scheduled rest, but I don't know. I mean, they brought him in, and he's only been back a week. He had a
That
week
makes me
off.
think it wasn't. Like,
Yeah.
maybe he was going to sit one of these games, or maybe he was going to try to play both, but like they were being cautious, and like maybe he got a little, banged up, or it flared up a little in the Magic game, and so they're sitting in for this one. But I mean, even so, it's not the end of the world. I mean, we're getting into the end of January now. Guys are going to be resting. Nobody on the Celtics has played every game except for Derek White. Like, everyone's going to be resting, and it sucks you do it against this Miami team, because I understand that the concept of, you have this rivalry with them for the past few years, but I mean, sometimes stuff happens, and maybe in their minds, like, let me find the comment here. I might have sat Tatum too. Maybe the Celtics were right. All right. I mean, since Smart is hurt, Al's going to sit out back-to-backs anyways, and Brogdon's out with personal reasons. I mean, at this point, like, if we're going to get Brown some rest, we might as well do it in a game where we're down a million guys anyways. So, I mean, from that perspective, I guess it takes a little sense. Jimmy J saying Grant took last night off.
Yeah, we going to talk about another loss to the Magic. The first team to win their season series against the Celtics. I can tell Sam is just bubbling with fury underneath the surface.
Yeah, it was bad. Thrilled.
It was like the Pistons last year. It's like that one bad team that just isn't.
They seriously are.
There's nothing I love more than watching the Celtics lose to a lottery team. Like, Tatum and Brown both play, you still lose. Like,
I will say, this is like the only like truly like bad team they like have consistently like the Bulls. They had a couple bad games against, but they beat the Bulls, and the Bulls at least now are somewhat in the play. Like, for the most part, I think the Celtics have been better this year with beating the teams.
Oh, they have.
It's just this Magic team is kind of really
it's
just
the
size.
Yeah,
like you have the chance to extend your win streak to double digits. You go down there, half the arena's pulling for you. It's pretty much a neutral game. It's not even like a road game. And you get slapped around in the second half by Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero, like in the fellas.
I feel like it's the Cavs, the Bulls. Like, the Bulls have that too. Like, Vucevic, for as much of a defensive liability he's able to stretch the floor, and he gets a lot of rebounds. So they just have a lot of players that you look at those three teams in particular. It's just that size aspect. Like, that's where Boston's really, really hurting. And it's a physical team, lanky, long, athletic, just like all of the earmarks of a team that's going to give the Celtics troubles. And I don't know, like, I'm hoping that they don't somehow make their way into a play-in team. I highly doubt that they do. No, but the thought of that team getting Wembanyama is like so scary to me, because they're already so huge. Like, it's like when the 76ers drafted like 3 or 4 centers in like a span of a few years in the lottery. Just like, we're going to draft every single big man, throw them at a wall, and see what sticks.
Looking here, it's not okay to lose the Magic. Sam is correct. I understand it's not okay, but like, I mean, what are you guys suggesting? Trade everybody? Like, I understand.
Yeah. At the end of the day, what are you going to do?
Like that,
but just be better. Like, you have a chance to extend your win streak to 10 games, really get people excited. Then you go in to play this game against the Heat. It's rivalry week, which is probably stupid in its own right.
Dumb.
But
I'm sure TNT's very happy right now.
Yeah, well, screw them too. Seated. I'm sure they put Brian Anderson on this call, so they get.
I'll take a look for you.
I'm pretty sure they still have the local broadcast today. It's not exclusive, so whatever.
Thank God.
They are terrible. TNT, their audio sucks. Like, that game against the Warriors last week, it felt like the audio was off the whole time. Like,
yeah, you hear the call of like the 3 went down.
It is Iron Eagle and Jim Jackson. So no Brian.
Well,
no Brian
what a treat.
Iron Eagle. There you go. Good call.
Neither one of them, who I think are really that great. Eagle's fine, but
Eagle's good.
I don't know. He doesn't do it for me. He doesn't have the right voice.
My dad was texting me last night. He does not want to see the Magic in the playoffs. He is not a fan of the Magic.
You shouldn't
I mean,
want
I
to. They
get
just
it.
beat you 3 times. They beat you twice at home.
Any trade news has been. I think this ties into the big man conversation about the Celtics getting destroyed by not having size. Chris B. Haynes comes out with a report today saying the Celtics are looking to add a big at the deadline. If
Chris
they
Haynes
can't
reported nothing.
Chris
Like he reported a bunch of stuff that was already out there. Like,
I don't know.
the Heat,
I feel
not
like
the Heat. The Hawks are looking to trade John Collins. Wow, nobody knew that. Big reveal from Chris Haynes. Celtics are interested in big men. Really? Wow. Jack and I could have told you that.
I mean,
Big
but like
big reveal.
He's
big
actually like
payoff.
saying it, but then he also says like if they're not able to get something via trade, then they will look at the buyout market.
Well, he's really putting his neck out there.
All
Like,
I'm saying,
if you're Chris Haynes, you're putting your job on the line with that one. Really? They might look at the buyout market to see if they could get somebody if they can't trade.
I mean,
wow,
really. All I'm
pushing it there, brother.
All I'm saying is he does have legitimate sources.
To back up Sam, Keith, I'm pretty sure reported like all of this like last week for Celtics.
Yeah, come on. I don't doubt that somebody's telling him all this, but you're last. You're last, brother. Everybody already knew this. I wrote about John Collins 10 times on Heavy over the last 2 weeks.
He's riding
in the wave. Tell me that he's out there.
Oh, man.
Well, that's still probably the one big one that I'm like, yeah, no part of my language, but like, no shit, of course he's available
because I want to see what else
keep shopping him every goddamn season.
They reported Van Vliet too, I think.
Van Vliet, who
that's an interesting
already
nugget.
Out there.
But the Clippers are interested in him. That's new. And Kyle Lowry, which is weird.
I saw Clippers Kyle Lowry / Mike Conley. I've seen that before, but I didn't.
I saw Van Vliet.
I guess
I think he said specifically Van Vliet would be someone that the Clippers would be interested in. I think that one makes a whole lot more sense than Kyle Lowry for a multitude of reasons. But
it's also probably a lot more expensive, I will say. So
but probably worth it though, right? Because look at how old is Kyle Lowry? How big is that contract?
Very old, but
he's
only on for one more year.
And the contract's bigger than his ass.
And that's saying a lot.
That is. Jimmy J asking, is Doug McDermott possible money-wise, supposedly?
The cap hit.
He makes he's probably just out of that TP that just expired. So now
I know Zach Collins. Zach Collins is like 7.2. So that's outside
makes
the
like
TP.
13. He makes 13 million.
Oh yeah, he's the one that makes more money. Yeah, my bad.
I would like Zach Collins.
A lot. See, I understand it's in the news. I would still rather a wing than a big. And we've had this debate a million times, and it is what it is. I'd be fine with another big. But like you mentioned the big against the Magic last night, you also have to, they didn't have Robert Williams. So it's like they were down a big they did have. But that's,
right? That's why I wasn't too surprised by that Magic loss. Is like they're missing like multiple guys. Like I'm not going to get upset. They just had a 9-game win streak. What do we?
Yeah. My thing is, I think there are teams every year like, certain teams just struggle against certain teams, right? Like that sometimes it just happens and it shouldn't happen, right? I'm not saying the Celtics should be losing to the Magic, but like clearly something was happening there. They've lost them 3 times this season, whether it's the size, whether it's Ben Caro, whether it's, Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz being pests or whatever it is. Like certain teams just have like bad seasons against certain teams. Last year was the Pistons. The Celtics couldn't like get a clean win over the Pistons last year, who were one of the worst teams. You see teams, and more so than often this year, or I should say more so than in previous years, you're seeing or good teams lose to bad teams a lot. So like, I'm not going to sit here and, make a mess out of a loss to the Orlando Magic when the Celtics just routed off 9 wins, most of which were like very impressive wins. Like they gutted out a really big win over the Warriors, who everyone was complaining about. They gutted out a win over the Raptors without Jayson Tatum, and they dug themselves out of a hole after the second quarter. They've put up some impressive wins, so I'm not going to take all of that and throw it in the trash because they lost to the Magic again. It sucks. They shouldn't have lost, but it's not the end of the world, and no one's going to remember this loss in June. Right.
Hopefully
to piggyback and pivot on that one, they just beat the Raptors and it was a great win. Mm-hmm. And they did it with less personnel than they had against the lowly Magic. Mm-hmm. Now that Orlando team did give them trouble a month ago. Don't you think you'd have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder when you play that game on the road after they do the double on you at home? You think you'd care a little bit more. And they definitely fought back, and it was contested, and then Tatum left the game, and it all fell apart, and they fought back again in the fourth quarter, and then they just decided not to score down the stretch. I'm not mad about the game itself. What are you going to do? You're going to lose once in a while. I'm mad about the way they lost. They didn't just get the doors blown off them the whole game. They played poorly, recovered, took a lead, played poorly again, recovered, nearly tied it, then played poor for the final 6 minutes of the game. If you can't execute against an Orlando Magic team, I don't care if you're missing Rob Williams and Marcus Smart and Brogdon down the stretch. You have your two guys that are supposed to be your guys. This is not you playing against the Denver Nuggets. This is not you playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is the Orlando Magic. You should be better than that. You should score more than like 3 points for the back half of the fourth quarter, or whatever it was that they finished the game on.
It was pretty bad.
That's where the problem is. It's not that they lost to the Magic. The problem is the way they lost and that they couldn't close the game. Does Marcus Smart give them a stabilizing force in those situations? Yes. Is it great to have Brogdon in those situations because he can create and go to the basket? Yes. Is it great to have Rob because he's going to create extra possessions for you? Yes. But it's also great to have two of the top 10 players in the league, maybe. Take care of business. Bad. Doesn't mean you should be upset and want to blow up the team. It's not when they lost 5 out of 6 in December. It's not that. But you should be a little upset.
And to be clear, even then you shouldn't be talking about blowing up the team. Just
no, you shouldn't. But that was a little bit of sound.
That was worse.
Yeah.
Sure,
well,
yes.
December is going to just be apparently that month where they're just absolutely dogging it. But the turnovers are really what killed them. They had like 18 turnovers. And that's kind of where it ties in the conversation about Marcus Smart and Malcolm Brogdon. Like, you're missing two guys who are primary facilitators for your starting lineup and your bench unit. And then I think to tack onto that, Jaylen Brown's really, really, really got turnover issues. Like, it's bad. It's bad.
How many Tatum have yesterday?
I still think less than Brown. It was, I want to say 3 or 4, and I think Brown might have had 5.
I can tell you in a second.
Both of them were a lot.
They were, it was a lot. But I also think that you look at the
Tatum had 3, Jaylen Brown had 5.
Andrew in the chat.
It's bad.
Celtics are 5-0-1 against the spread and 6-0 in the last 6 on 0 days rest. I apologize.
But I
don't think they've lost on a back-to-back yet, so keep your eyes out for that too.
Especially if they've lost on the first night of it.
Well, they just haven't lost at all.
No, but I'm saying if they lose on the first day of a the first game of a back-to-back,
then the betting's
they usually come back swinging in the second game for the most part.
So. This Miami team is trying its little heart off over there, trying to get back in the race. Up to 6th place now. They've hopped over the Knicks. Again, won 14 out of 21. Lowry had a good game against the Pelicans, closed out, so you might see a little bit of him. Bam is having the best year of his career. Hero's fine. They don't have Butler, so that'll be something else. But Oladipo's been playing well, so that's going to piss you off, meaning me.
Yeah. Luis talking about this. He said this a couple times. I fear no adjustment on the fly come April. I guess I think it's very different in a playoff series. Like I said, and Sam's right when you talk about the Celtics just took this Orlando matchup 2 laxadaisical and they fell into that trap multiple times.
I told you yesterday. I said they're gonna do what they did against OKC.
But like I said, they did that against the Pistons last year 3 times, and they still made the NBA Finals, right? Like I'm saying, these types of things, these issues within the regular season, I don't think are grand scale problems, right? And you can have the green goggles. I'm telling you,
I'm a big green goggles guy.
Yeah,
and I'm pissed.
My point is, I'm telling you an example from last year where they made the same mistakes and it didn't have any effect on them in the long run in the playoffs, right? Like, and I guess if you want to call it a Udoka versus a Mazzulla thing, we'll just have to see. But like I said, a loss to the Magic at the end of January after a 9-game win streak is not enough for me to completely forget about the 9-game win streak where they beat multiple playoff teams. So
that's true. I got to tell you though, I wish Ime wasn't raising hell in the front office, because he sure was real funny when he would tell them to stop being a bunch of bitches.
You see the Mazzulla story today before the
somersault that you retweeted?
Yeah, what the hell is happening?
I don't know what to
about Mazzulla is he's just miserable all the time with the media.
I love him
doing that.
I love him. He's not even miserable with media. He's just painfully sarcastic. He'll tell a joke, but he won't laugh. He'll just a straight face joke, and you can't tell. It's very funny. It's very weird, and I don't fully understand it, but he's a character. He's something. Jimmy, do you think Brown has no plan sometimes? This is what it looks like. And I mean, all I'm gonna say, I got absolutely shredded in this chat a couple months ago when I said it. So I'm You said it, not me.
with the victory lap.
He just jumps in the air sometimes, and like he'll go up for a shot, but like you can tell that he's not actually going to shoot it. And then he has these weird like little errant kickouts where he's like his like legs are like all splayed while he's in the air, and he's like, I'm not going to take this shot because it was a poor attempt, and I'm just going to go ahead and just throw the ball out wherever. And you just get these sloppy turnovers because of it. The bench units with just him on the floor versus like Tatum in the bench unit, like you saw what happened. Tatum was out there, they cut the lead in, Tatum leaves the game. All of a sudden, there's like it's like a 20-4 run or something like that, and all of a sudden, like that entire momentum that they had to get back into that game just went right down the shitter. So it's rough. I love JB, but like that is a glaring hole in his game, and I just don't know what it's going to take to change that.
Well, I was talking to Bobby Kravitsky, who writes for Sports Illustrated. We were at the game, and he brought up the point. He said maybe it's not a matter of him, Jaylen Brown, like breaking that bad habit, and maybe it's just a matter of the Celtics not putting him in the position where he can have that bad habit, right? Like he just can't be the offensive initiator, right? Like he can come off screens, he can do ISOs, but the problem is if you want him to be taking these isolation mid-range shots, which he's become elite at, like he's great at that shot. When it's not there and when he gets stops, he needs to be able to get himself out of it. And that is the part where he just cannot get himself out of it because it's just a turnover. Jaylen Brown possessions are either a pass before he starts his own offense, a shot, or a turnover. There's no in between. Once he has made his mind to go to the hoop, it is either a bucket or it is a turnover. And there's really not much middle ground there, which is frustrating. But at the same time, you got a guy averaging, the most points of his career. I mean, ridiculously efficient from the mid range.
He's good at everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's not a negative. We can
talk about his off-ball defense.
I was going to say off-ball defense has kind of been a little suspect this year, I would say. That's something with this whole switch everything defense really, really screwed him up when Udoka came along. And he's kind of, I think this year it's been a little bit more evident his defensive fall off, but it's weird. It was funny to me that he was like in that game against the Mavericks. He was like, I want Luka. I'm like, do you want Luka because like Luka's going to have the ball in his hands the most on this team? So it means that you don't have to switch as much. Is like that
because Luka's going to use every screen so you don't have to cover him.
Yeah, it's like, oh, great, cool. I'll just stay on him and he's going to have the ball for like 18 seconds on this shot clock. So it's fine. I won't have to switch at all. It's great.
Oh, we got the pause. I'm jumping in. Pre-game pick presented. No segue tonight. We're going right in. Pre-game pick presented by Smash the Odds at Smash Odds on Twitter. Give them a follow. Daily free picks. Pay the premium price for the premium picks to win the premium prizes. Jayson Tatum under 32.5 points tonight. I sure hope he's wrong because they're probably not going to win if he does less than that. My pick, Rob over 19.5 points, rebounds, assists. You're probably going to see him at the very least have a lot of chances for offensive rebounds with the Celtics missing a bunch of shots. So keep your eyes out on that one. Besides that, I didn't really take a whole lot of looks around the board tonight, but that's what I got.
I haven't looked at the board either, but I can tell you off the top of my head, I'm going to go with Derek White over on points. I feel like if there's a night for him to be aggressive and for him to look for his offense, in the past when Smart and Brogdon were out, he's done a good job before the Magic game of getting to his spot, getting to the hoop. Yeah, I'll take over 13.5 points for D White. That's going to be my my bet for the night. And obviously, you can
12.5. Ooh,
they
like Pritchard.
I think both of those are good, especially if Pritchard's trying to keep this momentum going because he's been playing pretty solid.
I like
8.5 points.
Yeah,
over 8.5 points is good for Rob too. I do like that.
He does play well against Bam. I do want to see how that knee, if it's actually bothering him or.
Got stuff going on. Sorry. Yeah, I had an alarm go off.
Apparently.
I'm supposed to be posting something.
Oh, good.
I knew what the sound was for. I knew it. That's why
it was an alarm. I thought it was a posting thing, but
Rob double 355. That might be one where you come up a little bit if you hit on that one.
I mean,
Andrew says play the under. Justin agrees with the Smash the Odds pick. Jimmy J says funny, Celtics play Miami, New York, and LA.
Rivalry
next
week.
three biggest markets, arguably.
Rivalry week.
I will tell you what. you know what? You rest everybody tonight, and you piss me off with the injury report today. You better be healthy when those rats come to town Saturday. You better run those clowns out of your building.
Hope so, right?
I'm still trying to post something. You guys got to cover for me for a minute. I'm sorry. I'm telling you now. I'm trying.
I was gonna say we could go to trivia, but you're a little bit busy.
Oh yeah, we do have that quick turnaround after the show today. I'll tell you what. While we wait for Jack,
How do you mean?
are you looking to get yourself tickets to a Celtics game or other event? If so, head over to SeatGeek. Use promo code HBTC. How about them Celtics? To get $20 off, let us help you go see what you want to see. Early start today, Tim, because it's TNT. They get you right up and
like
going
right
at
after,
7:32.
Yeah.
Jack is back with the now super glued glasses. People don't
super
know.
glue glasses. I'll show you. Super glue
What
glasses.
did you do?
I was playing basketball with Sam.
Played basketball, and I did not see.
You dropped.
I was on one of the other courts shooting
No.
around.
I got one of my teammates got stuck in traffic and he just dumped the ball off to me, but I was not as prepared as I should have been for it. So clocked me in the face, but I'm good. We won the game. I hit a 3 blinds. It was phenomenal. It was great. It was a great story,
there's
great
like
game.
dividers there, so I couldn't see anything, but I just heard everybody go nuts. And I come
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
they're like, like Jack hit like a 3 to go ahead. I was like, oh my god, that's fire.
I'll tell a story quick. We're playing 1s and 2s, down by
Jack
4
details
points.
his heroics.
I'll tell.
Podium
Yeah,
game.
sure. We were down by 4 points, 1s and 2s. Glasses get snapped, right? We stop for a second. I put them to the side. We keep going. I can't see very well. I'm like squinting, trying to see. Everything's very just blurry. Teammate hits a 2, so we're down by 2 points now, I believe. Get a stop, come down the other end. It passes me the top of the key. I just see the rim just looks like an orange blur. I shoot it. I'm just like praying. It gets in there. It like bounces around a little bit, drops. I go back down the other court. I can't even fucking see. I'm amped because I hadn't made a 3 all day. I had missed every shot I had taken all day. The one shot I shoot blind goes in, so I was hyped. Get another stop. We're on the fast break. I've got it. I fake the layup, dump it off to my teammate. We get the win. He hits the layup. We go up by 1. Ben saying it would have blocked me. All right. But I was very excited. We won the game. We got the comeback, and I was gassed because it was winter stays, and so I stayed on for the next time. And I tell you, 2 games in a row. Jack Cornett, yeah, exactly. Hit the 3. It was big time. It was good. It was very exciting. And then I kept them on. I threw the glasses back on without one of the stems, but then they kept falling off because I'd moved. So I came home. I super glued it, but unfortunately, the super glue also got to the bottom. So I got some paper towels stuck to the bottom of my glasses. So. Not ideal, but it was hype. It was a good game. It was probably the no peach basket dunker. You're no, I'm not. I cannot dunk. I'm not nearly athletic enough.
Close.
Not even close. Not close. Can you dunk, Sam? No.
Close.
Close? Okay.
Very close. Can't hold the ball.
I see.
All
Phoenix
right,
coming in late. Magic game. All right.
No more. I'm done with this game. The Magic. Nope.
We can do what? We probably have time for 1 card or 2 if the first one's a quick one.
Yeah, do 1 or 2.
All right, first card. We'll make it quick. Are we ready, everybody, for the first card of the night?
Yep.
All right. So, Tim, you with us? You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, card. 5 points. Selected out of UTEP in the second round of the 1970 NBA draft by the Cincinnati Royals. All right. So I'm not going to get this one correct.
Yeah, that's a strong start.
This is a big yikes. I've got nothing. Should we go to the next clue, everybody? Thoughts?
Go next.
Sure.
I have some ideas, but I'm not sure.
Led the NBA in both scoring and assists during the 72-73 season. Oh. So good.
I'm going to guess in the private chat.
I have a bad feeling that I'm not going to get this correct, and I should because it's clearly a good player, but I'm not going to get it. Tim, 3 points, shall we?
Sure.
Joined the Celtics in 78 as a part of the 7-player trade with the Buffalo Braves and won an NBA title in Boston with 1981.
I think I'm right.
I don't know. I'm ready to go to 2 points whenever you're ready, Tim, because I have no idea.
Yeah, go with it.
2 points, 6-time All-Star who was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1991. Again, I should definitely know it, but I just don't, so I've got no idea. I've got nothing. Tim?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
got nothing.
1 point.
I think Sam's right.
6'1" point guard known by the nickname Tiny.
Oh,
yeah,
I was right.
He
Tiny
nailed
Archibald.
it.
Okay.
Nate Tiny Archibald.
4 points. I almost threw it up for 5, but I wasn't positive.
Unfortunate.
Damn.
Tim and I both getting
Nailed
1
it.
point.
He nailed it.
All right, we'll keep it to 1 today because we do want to get out of here because TNT start time is quick. Anything else you guys want to say before we get out of here?
Nah.
No.
HBTC on SeatGeek. Use it. Go for less. Get in front of the
Check it out.
TV.
Appreciate you guys. Go jump in front of the TV for the Celtics game. You can check us all out on Twitter. That's below our faces. You can check out How About Them Celtics on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and Facebook. How About Them C's or How About Them Celtics. Like Phoenix
What are we
says,
doing
like,
tomorrow, Jack?
subscribe,
We streaming
comment.
or we recording?
That is a
We
good
owe him
question.
something.
We'll be either recording a new pod tomorrow or we'll be live streaming tomorrow. Let me double check real quick. Tomorrow is the 25th. We are scheduled for a live stream that will also go up as a podcast.
Okay,
So
we'll
have that for you. We'll be live tomorrow on How About Them
7:15.
Celtics on YouTube. We'll call it 7:15. Works for me. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. We are here 30 minutes before every Celtics game, and we are live tomorrow. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.